Despite being coarse, rough, irritating, and getting everywhere, sand is the second most used resource for humans after water. Other than making glass and concrete, each sand grain contains a geological story over thousands of years. These tiny grains of rock endure the extreme weathering of water, wind, ice, and sometimes animals just to reach the beach beneath our feet. So in this video, we will go over how sand is formed, why beach and desert sand are different, and why we are actually running out of sand. We start our journey with something a lot bigger, rocks and mountains. As sturdy as rocks may be, nothing can withstand the forces of nature. Through a process called weathering, smaller bits of rock get broken off over thousands and millions of years. Then, through a process called erosion, those small bits of rock get transported by wind and water, such as rivers, to other places, where they might get weathered further along the way. For example, water may drip into the cracks of a rock, which will expand if it freezes. This will shatter the rock from the inside, breaking them down into smaller pieces. Over time, when those bits reach between 2.1 millimeters and 0.06 millimeters in diameter, they are classified as sand between the sizes of pebbles and clay. However, different types of weathering and erosion affect the structure of the sand grains. In the desert, most of the sand is weathered from big rocks and eroded by the wind. Over time, those sand grains are then weathered by the wind, forming massive sand dunes and making them more fine and uniform. Desert sand also contains vast quantities of quartz, since quartz is more resistant to weathering. In contrast, the sand grains on beaches are weathered from mountains and glaciers, and eroded by rivers and the wind. The sand grains here are weathered by both ocean waves and wind, making them more coarse and rough. Because they are by the oceans, they contain small bits of calcium carbonate from shells of marine organisms as well. So now, what's all this talk about us running out of sand? We use a lot of sand in construction, but can we just dig up the Sahara Desert? Unfortunately, the sand there isn't suitable for our needs. Because desert sand is so rounded by the wind, they don't really stick to each other when mixed in concrete. We have to use sand from beaches and riverbeds, as the sand weathered by water have rougher edges, making them ideal for construction materials. This means that large amounts of sand are stripped away in sand mines from those locations. Less sand on beaches means that coastal communities are more prone to flooding, while less sand in rivers destroys entire ecosystems living in and around it. Furthermore, as we dig up sand, pollution from machinery also seeps into freshwater, poisoning the marine ecosystems and even us in the process. Billions of tons of sand are extracted every year. So yes, we won't run out of desert sand, but river and ocean sand is definitely running low. And there we have it. Sand grains are just tiny rocks in their weathering journey. From the mountaintops to the riverbanks, sand particles travel from the earth over thousands and millions of years. Depending on how they are weathered and eroded, beach sand tends to be more coarse, while desert sand tends to be more smooth. Even though we have plenty of sand in deserts, we only use beach sands to make concrete that actually stick things together. It's important to be aware of issues like those, as many of us are more focused on climate change. However, stricter regulations, recycling old concrete and glass, and human-made sand materials are making sure that we aren't destroying every single beach on this planet. I hope that y'all have learned something interesting today. Thank you for your time, and stay hydrated.